Please, while we are still standing, Your Excellencies, let us take the second stanza as our opening prayer. O God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and live untrue, great lofty heights attain, to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. Thank you very much. Please, let's be seated.
Thank you very much indeed. We may be seated, please. His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, and Chairman of the Police Council, Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, ably represented by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, GCON, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the host of this event, ably represented by the Deputy Governor, Dr. Hamzat Lawal, the Executive Governor of Edo State, the Chairman, House Committee on Police Affairs, Honorable, that is, on the Chairman, House Committee on Police Affairs, and that on the Chairman, Senate Committee on Police Affairs, and the Chairman, House Committee on Police Affairs are both represented here by Honorable Linda Choba Ikwazu, Honorable Minister of Police Affairs, Alhaji Muhammad Megari Bengyadi, the Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu Abubakar, NPM MNI, representatives of chiefs, representatives of the service chiefs here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you all to the opening ceremony of the Retreat for Senior Police Officers with the theme, Repositioning the Force for the Challenges of Effective Policing in the 21st Century. Today, the 27th of October 2019, taking place here at the Eco Hotels and Suites in Lagos. It is indisputable that training and retraining is a very important aspect of policing globally. And this has been the tradition of the Nigeria Police. Day in, day out, trainings are carried out. And this is another opportunity for the Nigeria Police Force to be trained. This time around, senior police officers have converged here in Lagos to get as much information as possible with regard to modern trends in policing. And I'm confident by the time they return to their various commands, they will try as much as possible to ensure that the junior police officers also get the knowledge they have acquired here. We thank you very much indeed for your patience. You have definitely been so much patient, and we can't thank you enough. At this juncture, without any waste of time, we learn the Vice President, His Excellency, the Vice President, has some other engagements to carry out. So we will call on...
Before you get there, before you get to it, Let me quickly make a correction. The governor of Lagos State is ably represented by the deputy governor of Lagos State, His Excellency Dr. Kadri Hamzat. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Please a round of applause one more time. That's Dr. Kadri Obafemi Hamzat, our deputy governor in Lagos. Those of us who live in Lagos, we know him very well. And having said that, like my colleague has just said, we're not going to spend any further time. We are here today to do a very important assignment. Time is not our friend. As a flag off of a conference and a retreat. And this is a special group of people. Even the Bible recognizes the police force in Matthew 5:25-26, where it says, settle with your adversary while you're on the way, lest he hands you over to the officer. Lest he hands you over to the officer. And the officer will take you to the judge. And behold, you'll be sent to prison. So on a day Bible, very important people. Without wasting time, let us invite the number one officer of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to set the tone for today. And that is by way of giving us a welcome address. Ladies and gentlemen, the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Abubakar Adamu, MNI, please a big round of applause as our IGI comes forward to welcome this gathering today.
Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, ably represented by His Excellency, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, GCON, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, ably represented by the Deputy Governor, Dr. Obafemi Hamzat, Your Excellencies, the Governor of Edo State, and other executive governors that are represented here today, the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs, Alhaji Muhammadu Megari Tengyadi, the representative of the House Committee and Senate Committee on Police Affairs, Honorable Linda Chuba Ipiazu, the representatives of the service chiefs, other dignitaries here present, ladies and gentlemen. I'm particularly elated by the honor of the presence of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as ably represented by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, at this gathering of senior officers of the Nigeria Police Force. The attendance of Your Excellency is a clear statement on the commitment to the re-engineering of the Nigeria Police and the prioritization of security by the federal government. Your Excellency, there is a strong correlation between personnel capacity and organizational performance. This fact is even more evident in the Nigeria Police, given the increasing complex and dynamic nature of crime that we as primary law enforcement agency grapples with routinely, the risks we are regularly exposed to, and our obligation to perform our duties within the dictates of the law. The intermix of this requires the constant acquisition of professional knowledge by all police personnel, particularly those at strategic management level. This is with a view to acquiring the capacity to dissect threats, appreciate complex security and crime situations, and take decisions at times in split seconds towards neutralizing such threats or resolving identified crimes. The idea of this retreat is therefore in furtherance to our policing vision, which emphasizes capacity building as a pathway to enhancing effective police service delivery in the country. We firmly believe that with the constant engagement of strategic managers and constant training and retraining of personnel of the force across all ranks, the expectation of the federal government and indeed the nation at large for a police force that is knowledge-driven, rule of law guided, community-oriented, technology-compliant, and intelligence-led shall be achieved. Through a professional forum of this nature, the personnel of the Nigeria Police shall be expected to acquire a high level of professionalism and competence required to neutralize any threat to our national security and give meaning to the constitutional provision that the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. Your Excellency, gathered here today for this 3-day retreat and conference are a collection of all officers occupying strategic leadership positions in the Nigeria Police Force. This comprises of all commissioners of police, assistant inspector generals of police, and deputy inspector generals of police, and our mission is twofold. Firstly, we intend to utilize this forum to undertake a holistic evaluation of the current internal security threats and crime dynamics in the country and identify factors engendering crimes and project into future. This is with a view to identifying human capacity requirements for addressing current and emerging trends to our internal security and evolving pathways towards addressing them. Secondly, this program is expected to avail participating police officers of the opportunity to draw on the expertise of seasoned facilitators and the rich professional knowledge of the array of police officers here gathered. We shall also leverage on the network to be established towards enhancing peer review, towards engendering a broader understanding of our mandate and enhance our operational capacity. With this anticipated outcome in mind, I charge all participants to take advantage of this unique opportunity, giving their utmost attention and ensure that the purposes of this engagement are achieved. As you all know, the security threat being faced in our dear nation requires urgent and well-thought-out solutions. Let us therefore roll out our sleeves and rededicate ourselves to our statutory duties in order to provide security that will not only place us above the criminal elements, but guarantee that we deliver our services in the most professional, civil, and lawful manner. Permit me at this junction, Your Excellency, to immensely appreciate His Excellency, the Governor of our Lagos State, for hosting this program, as well as our partners for their invaluable support, which made this conference and retreat possible. May I also seize this opportunity to again reassure the entire citizens of this country of our firm determination and clear vision to evolve a new police force for the nation and explore all available strategies in guaranteeing their security and safety. This is our mandate. It is therefore our obligation to attend it. We, however, solicit the continuous support of the citizens in this process. Your Excellency, I thank you and other guests most sincerely for gracing this opening ceremony and pray Almighty Allah grants you all journey mercies back to your respective destination. I once again thank you for your attention. Thank you, Excellency.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, in line with the pace that we want to keep.
Well, thank you very much indeed. The Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu Abubakar, NPM MNI, please a round of applause for him once again. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we said earlier on, we have to be a bit fast because there are other engagements to be carried out, especially by the Vice President. At this time, we shall invite to the podium the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs, Alhaji Mwingyadi, to the podium for his speech. Please, a round of applause for him.
Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, ably represented by His Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, the representative of the Governor of Lagos State, ably represented by his deputy, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State, the Inspector General of Police, the senior management team of the IG, other distinguished senior officers of the police here present, honorable members of the National Assembly here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am highly delighted to be here today for this very important conference and retreat tagged Repositioning the Force for Challenges of Effective Policing in the 21st Century. This conference that brought senior police officers across the length and breadth of this country under one roof in the nation's commercial city of Lagos is timely and couldn't have come at a better time than now, when the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is determined to reposition the force for better service delivery. The re-establishment of the Ministry of Police Affairs and the signing of the Police Trust Fund into law by President is a clear testimony of his desire to take the force to the next level. The ministry under my watch is determined to ensure that the police force and its members are given a state-of-the-art equipment to help in combating crime and criminality. It is also our determination to enhance welfare of the police personnel through the provision of conducive office and residential accommodation so as to motivate them for optimum efficiency. For whom much is given, indeed, much is equally desired. I urge the gamut of the officers on the rank and file of the police officers to dedicate themselves to their job as the nation is looking up to them to serve and protect them professionally. Our way of life and peaceful coexistence are being threatened by few criminal elements. Criminalities such as kidnapping, armed banditry, armed robbery, cybercrime, trafficking in illicit drugs are some of the crimes this distinguished gathering is expected to provide solutions to at the end of the retreat. Let me take this opportunity to thank the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, for his interest in the police force and the ministry in general. The Vice President, who is standing in for Mr. President, deserves our gratitude, not only for being in our midst today, but for his tireless efforts in assisting Mr. President in the administration's determination to move Nigeria police to the next level. Our gratitude knows no bound in thanking our chief host, the security-conscious governor of Lagos State, His Excellency Abajide Sanwo-Olu, and the good people of Lagos State for hosting this event. In conclusion, I want to thank the Inspector General of Police and his management team, and indeed all officers and men of the force for their continued sacrifice and determination to nip crime and criminality in the bud. I thank you for your attention and wish to reassure all Nigerians that the Ministry of Police Affairs will not rest on its oars in providing political leadership that will help policemen and women in the force to effectively discharge their constitutional duties of protecting lives and property. I thank you, and may God bless us all. Thank you, and wassalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs. Thank you. In case you've not noticed, my co-MC is Nuru Mohammed. The IG is Mohammed Adamu. And Mohammed Megari, Police Minister, has spoken. The next speaker, I don't know if you permit me to add Mohammed to your own, to just so that we maintain some level of consistency. Well, okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is our host governor, ably represented by his very amiable deputy. Please, a round of applause as we invite, yes, Dr. Mohammed Kadiri Obafemi Hamzat. No, he's not Mohammed. Welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, the man just changed my name, but it's okay. So you can call me Mohammed. It's a great name, so there's nothing wrong with it. His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by His Excellency Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, GCON, and the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. His Excellency Godwin Obaseki, the Governor of Edo State, Honorable Minister of Police Affairs, Mohammed Magari Dinyadi, the representative of the Senate and House Committee on Police Affairs, Honorable Linda Chuba Ikpeazu, Inspector General of Police, IGP Mohammed A. Adamo, various service chiefs that are here present, senior officers of the Federal Republic, Nigerian Police of Nigeria, distinguished invited guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, asked to go to Abuja for another meeting. So I was asking his brother from Edo State what happened, and then he'll probably tell us later. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is the speech of the Governor. It gives me great pleasure and honor to welcome the representative of the President of Nigeria, Vice President Osinbajo, and the top echelon of all Nigerian police and everybody in this room to the state of Lagos. On this occasion of the formal opening of the conference and retreat for senior police officers, it is reassuring to note that for the next 2 or 3 days, the leadership of Nigerian police will be taking stock of the security situation across the country, sharing experiences and deliberating on strategies and effectively curtailing existing and emerging challenges and threats to national peace and security. The theme of this conference and retreat, Repositioning, the force for the challenges of effective policing in the 21st century, cannot be more appropriate and relevant given the rapidly evolving dimensions and modes of criminal activities. It is especially apt for our specific context in Lagos, where one of the pillars of our development agenda is making Lagos a 21st century economy. How do we achieve this without securing Lagos? And we can only do this by working effectively with the police and deploying effective and modern technology that is capable of combating the current threats and challenges. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, there is no doubt that Nigeria is facing several security challenges, ranging from terrorism to kidnapping, to banditry, militancy, smuggling, and others. These challenges are, of course, not new, but over the years they have evolved and adapted aggressively in a bid to stay ahead of the capacity of law enforcement to contain them. This is a global phenomenon. I must also highlight the fact that in our country, we have seen remarkable successes on a number of fronts in recent years, including in the northeast of our country and, of course, the Niger Delta. So the police deserves our gratitude. We also then recognize that a lot needs to be done. Criminals are not taking a break, neither are they slowing down. And therefore, those tackling and containing them cannot afford to. The Nigerian police force and other security agencies must, as a matter of urgency, step up their game and strengthen their capacity with modern techniques and technology. In an era where crime is largely aided by digital technology, it will be a futile effort to attempt confronting such situation with a 28th century thinking. I'm pleased to note the pioneering role Lagos State has been playing in this context in our country, in terms of deploying forward-looking, proactive security initiatives like a state security trust fund and the activation and use of toll-free emergency number 112 and 767. We tend to do a lot more in line with our greater Lagos vision. We can only achieve this by working effectively with Nigerian police. And I must say that they have always been receptive and they've always worked well with our state. Let me use this opportunity to affirm that we will continue to wholeheartedly support the work of law enforcement agencies, especially the police, in the discharge of their duties. As a state government, we are excited by the decision of Nigerian police to roll out their community policing strategy. It has always been clear that a centralized police system, especially in a federation, is something that we really need to look at in order to make our country more secure. It is my belief that this retreat will, among other things, deliberate on ways to fully integrate community policing into the mainstream of our security strategy and architecture, as well as how to ensure that the states and local government authorities are fully engaged and carried along in the implementation so that we can all work together to secure our states and our country. I would like to also emphasize the need for strong partnership and collaboration across state borders for effective security. For instance, the Southwest Regional Initiative on Security, in which the Nigerian Police Force, under the dynamic leadership of the Inspector General of Police, is actively involved, is aimed at adopting a common strategy for the protection of lives and properties within the region. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, an effective security system is critical to achieving our collective aspiration to build a strong and prosperous economy. As President Buhari often says, to administer the country properly and attract investment, we first have to secure it. It is therefore expected that this conference and retreat will provide a platform for the development of a robust ideas and strategy that will improve the efficiency and the effectiveness of Nigerian police in view of the emerging and evolving threats to security and safety of lives and property. Once again, I welcome everyone to Lagos, and I wish you have a great time, and wish you a successful conference and retreat. God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and God bless all of us all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Deputy Governor of Lagos State. Okay. I've never seen this gathering of very handsome and beautiful officers of the police force. So my mind is telling me that all the fine people in the police force stay in the office. Then you leave the other ones on the checkpoint for us. No problem. No problem. Okay. All right, the stage is set for whatever you're doing, you better move fast. The Nigerian police is your friend. I always say that. Those of you who have seen my clips on YouTube, I need not explain any further. While they're your friend, they're very sympathetic. They have a human touch. Just that Nigerians, to please us is difficult. It's Nigerian police that will see you drunk, driving, pull you over. You will explain, officer, my wife just left me. Say, my brother, na so dem be. Na so dem be. Don't kill yourself. Just drink small, go house, rest. Find another wife. Problem solved. Abroad, you will lose your license and lose everything and deepen your wahala. But I don't want to go into that. We don't have time. Ladies and gentlemen, to give us a keynote address, number one citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, our president, ably represented today by our wonderful vice president. Please a round of applause for Professor Yemi Osinbajo as he addresses this gathering today. And let me say that after his keynote address, the VP will stay up on stage here. A few of us will join him for a photo session. We'll take the national anthem and it will be a wrap, like I promised. Vice President, sir.
Thank you very much. Please sit. Your Excellency, our host, the Governor of Lagos State, ably represented today by His Excellency the Deputy Governor, Dr. Obafemi Hamzat, Your Excellency the Governor of Edo State, His Excellency Mr. Godwin Obaseki, the Chairman of the Senate and House of Representatives Committees on Police Affairs, very ably represented today by the Honorable Linda Chuba Ikpeazu, the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs, Mohammed Megari Dingyadi, the Inspector General of Police, our host, Mohammed Abubakar Adamu, and representatives of the service chiefs present, heads of federal government parastatals, senior police officers, men and women of the Nigeria Police present, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to join you today at this opening ceremony of the 3-day conference and retreat for strategic leadership officers of the Nigeria Police Force. I think this retreat is appropriately timed and themed, repositioning the police force for the challenges of effective policing in the 21st century. It presents a unique opportunity, not only to review internal security and policing issues, but also to acquire contemporary professional information and knowledge, undertake some peer review, and build important partnerships and networks needed to efficiently deal with the current and anticipated internal security challenges. Aside from the threat of terrorism in the Northeast, we are currently combating a series of crimes that constitute significant drawbacks to our national security. These include banditry, kidnapping, armed robbery, cybercrime, and the proliferation of small and light arms, and sundry transnational crimes. The dynamics of crime in the country have over time become increasingly complex, due largely to the impact of technology, global terrorism, and socioeconomic challenges, as well as other security situations, especially within the African continent. And it was in response and in anticipation of these that at the inception of the current administration, concerted efforts were made towards emplacing policies that would re-engineer the Nigeria police force and ensure the restoration of the agency's primacy within the internal security architecture of the country. In this regard, funding, limited manpower profile, professional capacity gaps, and issues arising from the relationship between the police and citizens were identified as challenges that need to be addressed. The Nigeria Police Force is without a doubt one of our proudest national assets. This is the largest police force in Africa. We have some of the best trained and best educated men and women in any force anywhere in the world. Our policemen and women have served everywhere, locally and internationally, with outstanding results and accolades. The Nigeria Police Force led police peacekeeping activities in several countries of the world, in Congo, in Namibia, in Angola, in Western Sahara, in Somalia, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Croatia, Afghanistan, Kosovo, and even as far as East Timor. Locally, in the past 1 year alone, the Nigeria Police has between January and this month arrested over 2,348 armed robbery suspects, over 1,412 suspected kidnappers, 684 murder suspects, 1,513 cultists, and have safely rescued over 826 kidnapped victims. We're talking of a 10-month period. Over 1,660 firearms have been recovered, and over 1,612 vehicles stolen or used for crimes are in the safe custody of the Nigeria Police Force. In the cause of duty, so many have paid the supreme price. While fighting off robbers, kidnappers, and other criminals, many have been maimed for life. Their families have had to deal with their incapacities. Yet every day, our men and women of the police force go out at all times with exceptional bravery, often beyond the call of duty, and in challenging conditions, working to make the cities, towns, and villages of this nation safer for us all. Let me say that we are extremely proud of the work that you do, and we are grateful for your service to this nation. The service that the police force renders is one that we cannot do without. It's a service that we all need. Your law enforcement service is the closest to the average Nigerian, the grassroots. There are police stations everywhere, and the police, above every other service, represent law and order to the average Nigerian. This is why the police cannot escape public scrutiny and very often criticism. Nigerian people, old and young, want our police force to be better and to do better. They want to be even prouder of your service than ever before. This is why in some of our urban areas, we want to see more compliance, and the people insist that they want to see more compliance with the rule of law and with the observance of human rights in dealing with the ordinary Nigerian. Recently, many civil society groups and individuals have complained about the arrest of young men and women just because they look successful and they are carrying laptops. Yet, we must apprehend Yahoo criminals, but we cannot harass young men and women on the streets and in taxis, most of whom are merely going out about their legitimate businesses. There are also cases of extrajudicial killings and injuries. the misuse of weapons and excessive use of force by some members of the force. This sort of conduct by a few must stop, and it's the duty of you senior and strategic leaders of the police force to ensure that impunity of any kind is discouraged and punished where it is found. The image of the Nigeria police as an interlocutor of fairness, of justice and decency in the enforcement of peace, law and order must be maintained at all times and in the interest of the credibility of the force as a whole. You have spent your lives, your professional lives, building a great institution, and you must prevent a misguided minority from destroying it. But I'm pleased to note that the Inspector General has taken up the task of preventing these practices by, and to quote him, I quote, equipping the police with the right orientation for policing in the 21st century and to align their operations within the expectations of the law and citizens and the standards of democratic policing, which is hinged on the protection of fundamental rights. He goes on to say that also special trainings are being organized for the special units of the police, including the Police Mobile Force, Special Forces, Counter-Terrorism Unit, the anti-robbery detachments, anti-kidnapping squads, and the criminal investigation departments as well. In addition, he has put resources to acquiring and deploying electromuscular disruption technology-based weaponry, which is commonly known as taser or stun guns for low-risk police operations. But most importantly, the recent review of the review and standardization, as well as simplification of the Force Order 237, the rules of engagement. This has been done with the active collaboration of several international development partners. For its part, the federal government has facilitated the passage of the Police Trust Fund, the Establishment Act, to which Mr. President has since assented. The federal government has also set up, as you've heard, the Ministry of Police Affairs, all geared towards ensuring that we're able to give the very, very best possible support to the Nigeria police. And in terms of funding, to mitigate the funding deficits in the Nigeria police force. The groundwork for the takeoff of the act has already progressed very steadily, and I understand that the Ministry of Police, the Minister of Police Affairs, is in close touch with the Inspector General of Police to ensure the smooth takeoff of the fund. Furthermore, our efforts in embracing community policing as a national security strategy is also informed by the need to close the trust gap between the police and the citizens and build partnerships and strengthen the collaboration with communities towards addressing prevalent security threats. We've made steady progress in this regard. An important part of that strategy is the recruitment of new personnel from within local governments and ensuring that after such training, such new officers remain within their local governments. Policing must be, as much as possible, local in order to give the local populace the benefit of the civil policing that we all need. It's also within this context that the federal government approved the recruitment of 10,000 junior cadre officers annually into the Nigeria police force. Beyond this, we shall continue to support the leadership of the Nigeria police in their personnel capacity development programs at the various police training facilities. All these internal security initiatives will, of course, remain ineffectual if the personnel at the strategic level of policing in Nigeria lack the optimal professional capacity to drive the strategies. It is for this reason that I commend the Inspector General of Police for convening this retreat and for providing quality leadership to the Nigeria police at this crucial time in our nation's history. I can confidently assure all Nigerians that the federal government will continue to support the police towards the attainment of its statutory mandate. And to the participants at this conference and retreat, I urge you all to take full advantage of this retreat to update and to share your knowledge in full realization of the increasing sophistication and complexity of criminal activity today. Realigning knowledge and practice to these realities is the key to policing in the 21st century, and especially within the challenges of the 21st century internal security space. On this note, I consider it a singular honor and pleasure to formally declare this conference and retreat open. I wish you all professionally enriching engagements while you're here, and I pray for God's divine protection for you all and for our republic. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you. Yes, please, let's remain seated, please. Let's remain seated. A few of the dignitaries will join the Vice President
Distinguished
here.
ladies, would just want some of the dignitaries, the representative of Lagos State Governor, Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State, representative of the chairman of the Senate Committee and the House Committee Chairman on Police Affairs, the Minister of Police Affairs, the IGP, representatives of service chiefs, and the permanent secretary. Please, they should join the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, on the podium for a group photograph.
And while we're at it, I would like to invite the police spokesman, DCP Frank Mba, to give a vote of thanks, quick one, a brief one. Please, sir. Please, it's important that we thank the Vice President for coming. So while they're at it, let's use the opportunity to quickly thank them.
Your Excellencies, permit me to stand on the already well-established protocols. We are clearly trying to use one stone to kill multiple birds now, as I give this vote of thanks while the group photograph is ongoing. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a few moments ago, it looked like this will never take place. But to the glory of God, here we are. A very beautiful, grand opening ceremony have just taken place. And it is on that ground that I want to thank His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief, who graciously allowed the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, to be here with us today. My teacher, he was and he is. May I also very quickly thank all our distinguished guests that traveled all the way from Abuja, the Minister for Police Affairs, and all those in the entourage of the Vice President, as well as the Minister's entourage. We want to thank the Inspector General of Police, an inspirational leader and a motivational leader who has continued to trust his subordinates and motivate them and give them the opportunity to handle even tasks that sometimes can be very complex. The IGP, you provided us this platform and we want to celebrate you. I also want to thank the representatives of the service chiefs, the EFCC chairman, and other heads of government agencies, of course not forgetting our own permanent secretary in charge of police affairs. And a very special gratitude goes to the governor of Edo State. You reserve the best for the last, who, in spite of all his engagement, stayed put, like our people will say, until this event saw the light of the day. We had other governors who came here but had to leave. We had other distinguished guests who came here and had to leave. The governor sacrificed every other thing to be with us. Your Excellency, we celebrate you. And I want to thank all other persons here with us who stood by us and waited for these long hours, long waiting hours. Members of the press, we thank you all. And as you go back, we wish you journey mercy back to your respective home. Thank you, and we're looking forward to having another wonderful retreat next year. God bless you all. Thank you.
The national anthem, please. The national anthem as we leave.
You've been watching Channels Television's live coverage of a conference and retreat for senior police officers holding at the Lagos Continental Hotel, Kafuabayami, Victoria Island in Lagos. We'd like to return you now to our regular programming.
Queens have been handed automatic slots for the FIBA Africa Champions Cup for women that will be coming up in Madagascar in December this year. Both Nigeria's club sides will represent Zone 3 at the Continental Championship that will be played from December the 6th through till the 15th. It's the first continental competition for both teams who emerged finalists at the just concluded MBBF Women's Basketball League. Air Warriors emerged champions, beating the MFM Queens 57 to 53 points in the final of the Women's League. All-African Games bronze medalist Benjamin Okomose is confident of picking a spot at next year's Olympic Games in the men's taekwondo plus 87 category, but then he wants more competition and training for Nigerian taekwondists ahead of the qualifiers in February next year.